Welcome everybody, I'm JD,
And I'm Gail.
and you're tuned into the Sneaky Bastards. I'm Sneaky Bastard 1.
I'm Sneaky Bastard
And
2.
today we're just going to be discussing what's going on in the world today. Economically, we want to bring up that sickness that's going around because, all these people, if you mention something, don't mention it on air because we'll be zapped. But we're just kind of concerned on where America's heading. And we're here drinking some great beers. We don't do product placement or nothing like that. But we're here imbibing as we normally do when we get together. And we're just a little concerned about what's happening to our future here in America because it seems like we're on this fence, and we've been on this fence for a while.
Yeah.
And we're teetering which way to go on the fence. Do we want to go full bore socialism to where every man is his brother's keeper? Or do we want to go and fall on the other side of the fence, which is liberty, freedom, and your selfishness? And people don't know what selfishness is, but that's a whole other story. But our economy could go one of two ways. We can go to where we have people in Washington tell us how to live our lives, which are pretty much telling us right now, with the mask and stay at home and all that.
And all that.
Or we can go to freedom and say, hey, go out there and look. This is my motto I go by. If you're not living your life, you're dying. Right?
Yeah.
So if you're not living, you're dying. Well, we're staying at home, not doing a whole lot, sitting around twiddling our thumbs, watching Facebook videos and kittens and stuff like that. We're dying. Some of us want to go out and live.
The alcohol industry is doing good right now.
But there's a lot of people out there that just, they're afraid to leave their house, and they see somebody else leave their house, so they're going to call 911 and say, this person is going out without a mask, and they're putting me at risk.
Oh, I've seen somebody walking down the doggone sidewalk holding hands. They're not social distancing.
Everybody says, history repeats itself. It doesn't repeat itself.
But damn sure rhymes.
It sure does rhyme. And, you remember back in before World War II, Germany was in kind of like the same situation. You ratted out your neighbors.
Yeah, you called the Gestapo.
I try to count on my neighbors. I don't want to rat them out or whatever. Again, if you're not living, you're dying.
Nazis were the National Socialist Workers Party.
Yeah.
Conservatives, they just sit around, they're hypocrites.
And
Socialists go put you in jail and kill you.
I'm sitting here kind of laughing at. I see the world differently, and all my friends tell me that. And I just see everything is like 180 degrees backwards. Here we are letting rapists out of jail, rapists and murderers, because we don't want them to get
and child molesters.
This sickness that's going around in jail or whatever. So we're letting them out, so this sickness won't continue or whatever. But then we find out that in certain cities and states, they're arresting businessmen who need to feed their families by conducting business. And they're being thrown in jail. So we're letting out the rapists who take life away, and we're jailing people who give you life. It's just this whole world
because
is
of
nuts.
social distancing, brainwashing.
And I just kick back and laugh and say, you people are bringing it on yourself. Ronald Reagan once said that freedom can be lost in 2 generations.
Oh, he was absolutely right.
Yeah. And now we have the youngsters saying, hey, we need more gun control. We need more government control of everything, and people should go out without masks.
I agree with you on the gun control. You know where I agree on that? 10 times more people are killed by police with guns than guns kill people.
Yeah.
Oh, but we got to overlook that because it's for your own good. I killed your son because he's on probation and his girlfriend is 3 miles away in a different county because he ran. They shot him in the back and killed him. I'm just doing my job. Yes, sir, Mr. Gate Guard, Auschwitz, Blackenthal, Buchenthal.
Welcome, everybody. It's the Sneaky Bastards. And no telling what you're going to hear on here. It's a beautiful day here in the swamps of Central Florida. And, a lot of businesses are now filing for bankruptcy because the government shut them down. Again, this isn't the failure of capitalism. This is the failure of government. But we have Neiman Marcus that's closing down. J.C. Penney's filed for bankruptcy. No telling how many small mom and pop. Well, they don't get a chance to file for bankruptcy if you're a small mom and pop business and you try to open your business, you just get thrown in jail. I mean, that's what they're doing down in Texas. You try to open your salon, they throw you in jail. And, this is the new norm now. So I just laugh. We're so screwed up as a society.
But Trump's the Nazi.
Yeah, yeah. Trump's the Nazi. Then you have all these Democratic
misogynist Nazi
states that are in such bad shape, and now that they're such a bad shape with all the pensions, everything, they're asking for a bailout, just like the banks.
Did you see the one in Michigan? Did you see the one in Michigan?
No. Now what's going on in Michigan? I gave up on Michigan. People give up on Michigan. They're
protesters were protesting because this female socialist progressive wants to extend the whole shutdown of Michigan for a whole nother month because people are protesting. There were armed Black Panthers guarding people and escorting to the Capitol building. Now, you want to talk about oxymoron.
It's amazing how a crisis will bring certain groups together. But see, I think that's the whole problem. We have groups in this country now. We have groups and tribes, It's like, if you're not part of a certain group, then you're against that group. Oh, no, it's like, I'm not a member of a gay caucus or whatever. Just because I'm not a member of a gay caucus doesn't mean I'm against gay people. It just means I don't want to join their whatever group they have. I join strange groups because I like to be around strange people. It doesn't mean if I don't join your group, I'm against your group, but that's how it is now. If you're not for somebody, you're against them. No.
It's like
I'm against everybody. Stay away from me. I like the social distancing.
There are group things, like you said. I literally around people that were so against country music. They were making all kinds of races, all kinds of stuff. But if you said anything about their music or their bedroom preferences, they want to take you to court. Wait a minute. Oh, that's like black people can't be racist or bigots, only white people?
Well, it's like
And the first slave in the United States was a black man owned by another black man. And that's a fact of history.
Yeah, it's just our country is just really whacked out right now. Just
it's going off.
Makes me laugh. I kick back and just laugh and say, hey, what's that one saying? Watch what you wish for, because you may just get it. So everybody's finding out what it's kind of like to live under socialism. To go to the hospital, you have to have a certain condition now, and if you have a life-threatening condition, that's put off. We don't have the room for that. So.
I got into a debate on a YouTube channel with this guy in the messaging thing because of the woman that got body slammed when she was in handcuffs.
Yep.
Because there was 25 people out in the store and she was number 26. They handcuffed her, and because she kind of mouthed off to the cops, she weighed 100 pounds, soaking wet, with handcuffs on, and this 300-pound asshole sheriff literally body slammed her because she wasn't submitting to his authority. And my comment was, well, there you go. That's social. Oh, no. I'm in Finland, and this is not what true social. No, you just don't even understand. It starts out this way. That's how it started out in Cuba. That's how it started out in Italy. That's how it started out in Germany. That's how it started out in Russia. That's how it started out in China. Socialism and communism is not utopia. And I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and if you want to bring up Sweden already screwed up, and they're like 15 years into getting away from true socialism.
Yeah, they're going away from it as fast as possible.
Yeah, so don't use Sweden as an example.
Yeah.
Sweden found out by being dumbasses and letting all the doggone migrants from the Middle Eastern area and African areas flood their country. They're finding out that, ooh, that persimmon don't taste good.
All right, so what's happening in the economy now?
It's
like I
to
said,
fall.
We're on that fence to where we could go back to a little bit of freedom, or we can go the other side of the fence and forget about freedom, but you have your safety. You know,
How you
Marcus
gonna have safety if they disarm you?
Neiman Marcus is filing for bankruptcy. J.C. Penney's filing for bankruptcy. Thousands of mom and pops are filing for bankruptcy. You know, but everybody's
You're gonna
cool.
have tens of thousands of commercial buildings that are gonna be empty,
Yeah, well,
and banks are gonna want a bailout because they got loans on these commercial buildings.
yeah, yeah. It's amazing how the banks get bailouts, but big corporations that provide stuff for us on that list. You know, the banks don't provide nothing for you. The banks are set up to steal.
They're like the government.
They're
All they
set
do
up
is
to steal.
take.
Yeah, they're set up to steal your money through interest and creating new money out of thin air.
Interest. Oh,
But
by the way,
everybody's happy that they're going to be getting the $2,000 a month pretty soon. You know, the Democrats want to pass this FDR bill to give everybody $2,000 a month to go out and buy whatever you want to do to keep the economy going. But they don't realize at the same time that all these businesses are closing down because they can't make nothing. So by the time you get your $2,000 to go out and spend on something, you're not going to be able to buy nothing because there's nothing out there to buy. Nobody's producing it. You have to have producers before you can consume.
Even if there was, if you're only allowed to open up a 25% capacity, how can you pay your electric bill, your rent, and your taxes?
Well, the government will pay for you. That's what socialism is. Get your neighbor to pay your bills. I got no problem with it. Look, I'm all in. You guys want to go with socialism? I'm all in. Give me your money. You know, pay my bills. I'm happy.
You know what the Iron Lady
I don't need
said,
to produce. I'm at the age where I don't need to produce anymore. I've done my producing. I leave it up to you young kids. You better produce what I need. Because by God, I have a right to health care. I have a right to a nice color TV. You know, I have a right to a nice home. You guys, you young kids, you better be out there producing, because if you don't produce, how in the hell am I supposed to consume?
Hey, and I'm going to ride on my electric scooter to make sure I go vote. But anyway.
Yeah.
You know who the Iron Lady was, right?
Yeah, Margaret Thatcher.
And what did she say?
Eventually you run out of other people's money.
The problem, the whole statement is, the problem with socialism is sooner or later you run out of other people's money. If you shut down all these businesses and they only bring back 1/3 of the people, that means you've now got rid of 2/3 of the people. How are you going to feed them?
You know, I like that you brought that up, the whole saying, you know, eventually you run out of other people's money, but you know, there's more to it. There's that saying going around now that capitalism has failed us, but that's not the whole quote. The whole quote is capitalism, because of interference by government, has failed us.
Because it's no longer true capitalism.
Because it's not true capitalism. True capitalism is a separation of economics and state, just like church and state, for the same reason. Your business is nobody else's business. But everybody seems to think, oh, no, your business is the government's business. And before you can buy an apple from your neighbor, you better make sure that the government said that apple's safe to buy. But they never say, the government never says, well, is the buyer smart enough to know what he's buying? It's always, the government says, well, no, what you're buying, is that safe to buy? It's never put on the consumer, who has a brain too. You know, consumers are supposedly have brains.
Yeah.
And before you buy that apple, do you know that there's no worms in it? Or have you got a worm before?
This, you know, this milk's chunky and it smells sour. Maybe I shouldn't drink it.
Yeah, but the government says it's safe for another 3 days. You just got to chew it a little bit.
That's like, yeah, I'm a
laugh.
senior. I'm 70.
You know, us older
people. In my whole life, and I can remember it back to when I was 10 years of age and everything. So for 60 years, I have yet to see anybody get sick and die from some little pigtail girl selling lemonade in a driveway.
Well, that's because the government stopped them. Thank God you have government to keep you from buying cheap lemonade.
But Tyson and everybody else, Ebola and all kinds.
They can sell your chickens to China to have them process it and then ship it back here.
There's all kinds of sicknesses people get from Tyson chicken, but that's okay. You know why? Because they donate to re-election funds. But some little girl who's got a doggone lemonade stand you need to arrest her parents because
she's a danger to society.
She's a danger to society.
All right, you've been tuned in.
But respect your cops.
You've been tuned in to the Sneaky Bastards. Again, I'm JD.
I'm Gail.
And we're going to try to get more of these videos up when we can, but we just enjoy living our lives and drinking beer. Yep. Not that we're doing product placement or nothing, but we appreciate you signing in. If you would, if we got a thumbs up, that would be great. What would be better if you shared our videos. That's we're sharing because we care. Okay?
Just social distance when you do it. So every other one of the people in your contact book, send it to every other person. That'd be social distancing, don't you think?
That might work.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll see you shortly. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.
Yeah, you had been listening to the Sneaky Bastards.